Marrakesh in Morocco. We are on the grid, ready for the start of the first race of the Formula 2 weekend here. And as you saw there, Dr. Jonathan Palmer, the man behind this new Formula 2 campaign, himself a former F2 champion. And on the front row of the grid, his son Jolyon, our championship leader, the first British driver to win in Formula 2 since, well, his dad in 1983 for Ron Tonarek's Rolt Honda team. But the man who was pretty much fastest throughout practice starts on pole position, Dean Stoneman. And it was a British 1, 2, 3, 4 at the end of the session, although Will Bratt, 7th there, who ended up 4th fastest. Will Bratt, another rookie. Kazim Vasiliauskas, who was one of last year's race winners and front runners, had a dreadful time here. Spoke to him this morning, looking a little bit sorry for himself over breakfast. He said, I knew the only thing I couldn't do in free practice was have a crash. I had a crash. So he will start from the pit lane because he doesn't want to get tangled up in what he thinks is an inevitable first corner shunt. Mihai Marinescu of Romania there, getting ready for the start here, and getting ready to make his debut as well is the test driver for this weekend, a man who I'm sure a lot of you will know, Jonathan Kennard. Jonathan joins him. Final row is complete. There are a couple of gaps with Kazim Vasiliauskas and Amani Ibrahim starting from the pit lane. Revs rise, red lights are on, and it's a long hold. Very long, away they go. Dean Stoneman launches well. Jack Clark tries from row 2 to attack Jolyon Palmer, and the top three safely leading in line astern. Palmer's going with Stoneman, who tries to move out a little from the inside line. There's quite a wide entry to the first corner, and so far everybody safely through. Little dusty offline, and we'll see that cleaned up because you're going to need those offline areas, I would think, Jonathan, to try and overtake Jack Clark under pressure. They're too wide behind him, but the lead pair have gone away. Seems like they've used overboost, but Jack seems to be a little bit dead in the water.
Well, Jack went offline, and now he's got very dirty tyres, and he's struggling, as we can see there. Yeah, he was trying to attack Jolyon. Oh, we've had a spin there.
Yeah, we have. That's that's Ivan Samaran, who was down the escape road. Was it Will Bratt who had spun? Looks like it might have been. Stoneman and Palmer have gone. That's Will Bratt, it is, you're right. And Jack Clark and DeMarco. Now, DeMarco was the man with the overboost trying to go around the outside of him, and they clearly tangled on the way out of the corner. So that's the cars that were 3rd and 4th. Dean Stoneman leads from Jolyon Palmer, and that leaves Johan Jokinen with the white nose in 3rd from Philip Eng. And that looked as though it might have been Mihai Marinescu, who was 10th into the first corner. Yeah, he's in 5th position, 6th position behind Kelvin Snook. So safety car boards are out. Good spot. So Dean Stoneman bunches the field up behind him. He's allowed the safety car to get well out of the way, because when he comes out onto the straight here, he will see the red lights go to green, and away he goes. Jolyon Palmer wants to stay with him, and ideally Jolyon wants to stay with him without having to give away a turbo overboost use, doesn't he? So it's all about traction out of that vital last corner.
I think he may have even used one there, actually, because he wasn't that close at the exit of the first corner, and suddenly he's right with him again.
Now, of course, the overboost gives you extra horsepower. It's a minimum of 5 seconds, but you only get 8 opportunities to use this overtaking aid during the race. So you've got to be tactically very aware, because, of course, the straights are long enough here that if you see somebody coming, you've got time to respond with a squirt of your own, and that negates what the man behind has done. So you've got to be quite canny and try and force your rival to use his boost while you're not using your own.
That's it. There's a strategy in that all in its own. I mean, you need to really think about where to use it. What I used to do in Palmer Audi, which had a similar system, is always keep 1, maybe 2 for the last few laps. You never know when there's going to be a safety car, and you've got to plan ahead with these.
Johan Jokinen with the red and white car, just a little squirrely under braking. Philip Eng right behind him, looking very planted, and they're pulling away quickly. Mihai Marinescu and Kelvin Snooks. Did Marinescu get in front of Snooks? I think he might have done. Dean Stoneman. Just now tell us about the curbs, because the curbs here are fairly low, but they've got a lot of them got a really steep sort of first bit to them, and then they flatten out. And I know a lot of the drivers are saying, really, ideally, you want to not be on the curb even a tiny bit.
Yeah, sometimes the temptation is to bash over the curbs. You think there's a big advantage there, but quite often there's not, because the car's unsettled, it pushes you a little bit wide, and you can't get back on the throttle through some of these chicanes. So you need to be a bit careful. I was experimenting in practice on behalf of the whole team to see what we could actually use and what settings on the car would be best to use for that. What I found is that if you attack the curbs very, very aggressive, Cea's having a fantastic race. Way down, now 7th.
He's having a good run, isn't he? And in fact, he just set the fastest second sector time of the race. Without wishing to be too disparaging, I'm sensing that he may possibly not have gone all the way around the chicane there. However, he's got Ivan Samarin right with him. So Samarin is clearly going equally quickly and has really got the bit between his teeth. And in front of them, slowing dramatically, is Mihai Marinescu. So what's happened to the Romanian's car? He's come down very slowly, creeping out of the corner. That looks like he's lost power. I wonder if he's had... That has all the hallmarks of being a low compression 1800cc engine.
Does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's come out the chicane and there's nothing.
I'm afraid either he's stuck in second or something, or he's got no boost at all. To Ceea now. Yeah, Natalia just did not slow down at all, did she? No. Right into the back of Vasiliauskas. So the Mountune engine guys, I would think, will be in for a quick engine change now, or a pressure engine change at least. Safety car comes out at mid-race distance, bearing in mind that there is a maximum 40-minute cut-off period. Dean Stoneman, right, we're not going to go for an extra 2 laps behind the safety car because you've missed me, he's saying. I'm going to stop and wait for you instead of the other way around. Now that is, bearing in mind that he's done, what, a couple of years of single-seaters, that's very good racecraft from Dean Stoneman. That's thinking about what he needs, not what the race organisers are doing. He's going to make damn sure that there's not a whole field wave around, and that if they're going to be right back behind him, he's got as many racing laps to get away from them again as he can possibly engineer on the grid. Yes, looks like there is a safety car ready to come out. So Dean Stoneman's 5-second lead evaporates instantly. There you go, exactly what you were saying. You've got to keep a couple of boosts. Now I wonder if that looks more like they're worried about a transmission problem than an engine problem. Do you want to go tight because that's the shortest route round the corner, but it is such a slow corner? Is there mileage in just going as wide as you can? Do you get better traction if you are turning less? I know you in a front-wheel drive road car that would obviously be the case, but would it make really any difference here?
Huge difference. We're using first gear at this hairpin here.